everybody, and welcome to this fantastically wonderful episode. I'm talking like that, I don't know why. Listen, I'm going to make some really good food. The theme of the day is Les Mis. See the blue and the red and the white, because I went and saw it finally. In the theater, like the movie theater. Anyway, oh, my dog hears me talking, now he's coming. This is wine. We're going to start with opening a bottle of red wine. You don't have to drink it, because I don't. But, I like to have wine in the house for my friends. Because they all drink, because I have a bunch of actor friends. That was like a blanket statement. But, it's true. So, I like to have wine for them, and I cook with it. So the nice thing is I can use, like, half of this to cook, and the rest of it can be here if friends come over or I want to seduce someone. Kidding. I'm kidding. God. So we're making a really awesome pasta, and we're gonna, this is, going along with the last episode I did, which is all about using stuff you have. So I have some Liffit, some pickled turnips that I have from my restaurant. This is a Cab Merlot blend. Oh, it's blue. And you can use any kind of wine you want. So that's open. We're just going to set it up to the side. I don't need it. On my stove, I've got a pot of water, which I'm going to, you see it? Cool. I'm going to throw some ramen noodle seasoning in there. I have shrimp, so that's what I'm going to use. But it could be, if you don't have, like, ramen noodle seasoning, that's fine. No one's going to be mad at you. I mean, I might be, but I'm not going to tell anyone. So I'm going to throw some olive oil in this water and the seasoning in there, just to flavor the noodles. So let's not do that yet. Let's get working. Let me show you what I've got going on. This is really easy, and it ends up being such a decadent pasta. It's crazy. This is the one I told you I was going to cook for a friend, but I don't actually have friends. It was a total lie. It's just all my, like, web friends, like my Facebook friends. I cook and then my Facebook friends can be like, oh, that meal looks really good. Yeah, welcome to my life. Well, now you've seen it. This is just some butter, like a stick of butter. I probably won't use the whole thing. And then I've got the pickled turnips from my restaurant, and then I've also got garlic sauce from my restaurant. You don't have to use garlic sauce, though. If you have olive oil and garlic, like in a... Actually, I'm going to do that. Like the minced garlic, you can get this stuff at the dollar store. You can always find it on sale. There we go. Catch up, camera. So that's... I've got that. I've got some penne. I've got a little bit of flour, which I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to show you this little technique. I got this little fancy ramekin. I don't know if there's another word for that. Ramekin is what we say in restaurants. So I'm going to use, well, it's like 2 tablespoons of butter. You could just use 1. I really like butter. I'm from the South. And it's New Year's. Yay! So this is a good... I like this because it's an impressive meal. It looks really impressive, and it's got a really advanced flavor profile. That sounded so... I don't know what I'm saying. It tastes good, and it's got a lot of complexities. So, I'm gonna do, this is about a tablespoon of flour with that butter, and I'm just gonna let that off to the side. I'm gonna use that as a roux later, but now look how easy that is. So flour's done. This is sort of the same technique if you were gonna make a marsala sauce. Get some marsala wine or whatever kind of wine you want. This is just penne, which is going to go in there. This is some black olives that were on sale. Just a can of black olives. So let's get started, yeah? I am going to find a dish. Ow, ow, ow. This will work. This is not actually coffee. Hey, oh, that's the lid. What got in there? Yay. I saved these because I drink a lot of coffee. In fact, that's what's right here. Yum. So yeah, that has coffee in. Well, I mean, the glass has coffee in it. Oh my god, so Les Mis was really good. You gotta go see it. I mean, you gotta get over Russell Crowe. God knows he can't get over himself, so everyone else needs to. I wanted to push him off that bridge. And I'm not ruining anything for you, because Les Mis has been around for as long as most of y'all have been alive. So you know the story, and if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So I just drained these olives. And I'm going to cut them in half. And just pop them in there. I'm going to use the whole can. And I mean, it's just kind of a rough cut. I'm not using the right knife. I'm going to want to when I get the lift out. So what we're going to do is use 4 different seasonings, not including the garlic. And we are going to use some balsamic vinegar. I definitely would recommend using balsamic. If you don't, I would double the amount if you don't have balsamic, which it's expensive. Mine I have because it was a gift from my bosses at work, because they're really awesome to us. But if you don't have balsamic, you could easily double up on the amount of wine, because it's the same kind of thing. It's that acid that you want, that nice, bold, acidic flavor. So yeah, you could just double up the wine. See how helpful I am to you? You're welcome. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah. Are you excited for the new year? I am. Hey, but I was watching back one of my episodes and I realized that, like, when I am done like this, I have a double chin. Do you notice it? It's weird, huh? Double chins. So they're doing Les Mis at a theater that I have previously done work with. I'm very excited. It's going to be a great production because theater has more money than God. And then they're doing it like 2 months later at another theater, so I'm just gonna audition for them. Or just go see them, because I'm sure I'll know people in them. And if I don't, then I'll get to know people in them, because that's how I roll. Oh my god, it's late. I'm so sorry. It's not like you actually watch these anyway. P.S. Even though this is like the Les Mis themed episode, and, okay, this is so gross, I shouldn't tell you this, but if you've seen the movie, there's one very awkward moment. I mean, well, not counting the moments when Russell Crowe is acting. But there's one very awkward moment that you don't really know how to feel, and you're like, oh, you should clean your face. There's something on your face. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. So this pasta sauce kind of resembles that. Now you're going to be like, okay, now I don't want to eat it, unless you haven't seen the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, make sure you make this dish first, and then see it. Because I probably just ruined it for all of you who are not as gross as I am. Because I'm gross. Like, you can say something nasty to me, and I'm like, okay. I'm not bothered. Well, I mean, that was sort of a blanket statement. I'm bothered if you say something nasty to me. I guess you have to define what nasty is. Janet Jackson nasty? Because, that's fine. Okay, so, my olives are all halved, and then I've got the pickled turnips. Now, the black olives are easy to find. These are not going to be as easy. So really, if you just had pickles, that would work. Any kind of pickled vegetable. Pickled jalapenos would be good, but probably too spicy. I know a lot of dollar stores, and like the dollar aisle at any of your favorite grocery store is going to have some form of pickled vegetable in a jar that is pretty cheap. So really you just want crunch and a bit of tang. So we've got acid and tang. You're like, well, that's gonna be yeah, it is kind of. But it's also, we're gonna put butter in it, and the butter gives it a richness. We're also gonna put a little bit of cumin in it. Cumin, potato, come see, come saw. I'm listening to Jason Mraz. Oh, that's what I started to tell you. Was that even though it's a Les Mis themed episode, we're not listening to Les Mis. Because, I actually really like to just sing along, and I don't feel like talking, and I can't really tell you what I'm doing. I was singing about a bunch of dying French people. Speaking of dying French people, Anne Hathaway was really good. I know so many people that don't like her, but it's kind of hard not to appreciate her performance in that. Please do not tweet to me that you disagree. Opinions are like, everyone has opinions. Ah! Opinions are like vaccinations. Everyone's got them. Vaccinations. See how that came to me? Because I'm so clever. So, we saw previews for some other movies that are going to be coming out. One of them wasn't interesting. It was just a bunch of dudes and like guns and stuff, which I guess is maybe it's like The Departed Part 2. I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't in it, so I wasn't interested. Although I'm kind of over him because he's old now. I mean, no offense, he's not like old, but you know what I mean. Wow. Confessions late at night. Confessions of a wannabe YouTube sensation on the eve of a new year after having just seen Les Mis. So not fun for you people. You people. Okay, cool. I love the liffet. And you could cut them up smaller. I've only cut them into strips because I really like them. So good. Okay. Now, as I said, you can really use any kind of tangy, cheap vegetable you want. And where I have garlic sauce, you could easily use olive oil and garlic. Just like triple the amount of garlic that I'm going to put in, of the minced garlic. If you're not a garlic fan, you could use like olive oil and I guess just something that gives it a rich seasoning. Right, sorry, I should be telling you what that is. Okay, so now I am going to turn my, hold on. I'm going to turn on this back one. Ooh. I really like Jason Mraz. I also, oh, hey, that would turn on by itself like magic. Okay, so I put the back pot on. Let's get serious. I put the back pot on. And I put this one on, this pan. So what we're going to do is start with the garlic sauce, which this is, you know, it's got a bunch of stuff in it, but mainly garlic and olive oil. It's the main component of it. I live for this. So I'm going to use a good 2 tablespoons, 2.5 tablespoons. Oh man, I need to use that spoon again. For this garlic. You're going to be like, wow, it's garlic overload. But you got to remember what we're putting in this is pasta, which doesn't have flavor. And I'm using a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of the actual minced garlic. It's going to be crazy. Watch out. It's going to get loud in up here. Loud in up here? Loud up in here? Oh, I did a dance! I got to grab my ball smack. And a spatula, a pink one, of course. Watch out, watch out, watch out. So I just want to, can you see? Not really, sorry. But I just want that minced garlic that I have in there to get a little bit of a brown. I don't really care if the garlic sauce has cooked down or not yet, because it will. Regardless, I just want that minced garlic to get a little sear on it. And you can see, actually, if you look at this, that the garlic, the minced garlic and the garlic sauce sort of meld together. Onions will be good too, I don't have any. Alright. So now I'm going to put in the liffet and the olives. And try to get them coated in that garlic sauce and garlic. Which, like I said, if you are, whatever you're using, try to get them coated in the sauce, the base sauce. Now, these are not actually ingredients that need to be cooked, olives and pickled turnips. The pickled turnips are already cooked. And the olives, I don't think you cook olives, you just eat them raw, right? I don't know. That you can tweet to me, because I don't really have the answer. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm going to start my cleanup space over here. Not like that. I'm going to, the balsamic though, I'm gonna let this. Now the garlic sauce is white. You saw that, right? I mean, it could be any color. It's not like a statement. Mmm. Anyway, sorry. You want to get it translucent so that you know it's mixing in with everything nicely. So we're gonna use, I would say, a cup, maybe not a full cup, of balsamic. It's pretty liberal if you can get it open. Now, if you don't have He-Man strength, like I clearly do, wow, really? Stop laughing. Okay. Every once in a while, you can get the balsamic open. Oh, I got it. That's probably not funny at all, but I think it is. Okay, so we're gonna give like once and a. Oh, I just have a little bit of this left. I'm gonna show you. See how it mellowed out? All that sizzle's gone. I don't need the olive oil anymore either. By the way, while I'm over here, sorry, I'm out of your face for a minute. We want cumin. We want black pepper. Oh, thyme. I got some Paula Deen thyme. Okay. These are the only seasonings I'm going to do in here. Do you want to real quick see what's happening in the pan? Balsamic is just going to boil. See? There's a bubble. Nice bubble. Isn't that pretty? Not really. And then we're going to do the crushed red pepper because I like spice, but not too much. I would say that's 1/4 teaspoon maybe. And then the cumin, this one you got to be really careful with. Because too much cumin is going to overpower it and then you're going to lose every other flavor. So we want like literally a pinch and a half. Because what that's going to do, if you use too much, it's just going to be smoky and taste like bad chili. This is just black pepper that I'm, a couple of grinds. If you like black pepper, use more. I've got onion powder too, just to give it a little more depth. This one you don't have to really measure. Meh. But yeah, with the cumin, you got to be careful because if you use a tiny bit, like I did, the thyme, by the way, is a lot. Be liberal with it. I'd say probably a full teaspoon of the thyme. But the cumin, yeah, if you are careful with it, it'll give it a nice, rich, sort of well-rounded flavor. But if you use too much, it's gonna, like I said, taste like bad chili. Okay, so we've got our thyme, our black pepper, our crushed red pepper, a little bit of cumin, and some onion powder. And that went into this pan that has balsamic, liffet, black olives, garlic sauce. Did I forget anything? You've been watching, you tell me. Ah, yum. Okay, this is gonna go away. We're just letting that boil down. This is what's gonna make it crazy cool. Are you excited? That balsamic is making me go. I'm squinty. Ow. Oof. Sorry, the thyme smells really good. I make weird sounds, don't I? Okay, I don't need this knife anymore. Seriously, this smells so good. Why don't you come take a look at it? Because it's kind of cool. I think it's the thickness or the acid of the balsamic. It's something in the balsamic that just pulls it down. And like, look at all that stuff coming together. See that niceness? Ow. So this is really simple, because all we're going to do, once this is done, we're going to use one of these. If you don't have one of these fancy thingies, you could do the roux in another pot and then just add the red wine in. But I have one of these fancy things. See it? I got it at the dollar store. So don't tell me you can't afford it. I can't afford much, but I can go to the dollar store. Well, they closed it, so I can't go to it anymore. I mean, I could go to a dollar store somewhere, maybe St. Clair Shores, Grosse Pointe. It's a joke, I can't get out there. So, yeah, that's fun, huh? How was your day? What are you gonna do for your New Year's? Do you have any resolutions? Every day is a resolution. I try every day to be the best me I can be. The more you know. Bum 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 bum. Okay. I'm gonna... Yeah, I know. Be quiet, please. I'm gonna take these bad boys out. Now this is the part that's really cool. Are you so excited? You don't have to take the seasoning out. I mean, a lot of the seasoning, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but a lot of the seasoning comes out on your veggies, for lack of a better word. But what's not on your veggies can absolutely stay in the balsamic. This is a little time consuming, but it's worth it. Now the balsamic should be cooking down. Real quick, I'm going to throw my noodles. If the olives and the lippet stay in there longer, it's not going to hurt them. Because basically what you want is to get... Now it's penne, so it doesn't really need to be stirred, but if it were something longer, you could stir it. Basically what you want is to reduce this balsamic down to almost nothing, to a real thick amount of nothing. Now when you take the veggies out, it bubbles up so much more. The other good thing about taking the veggies out is once we put the wine in and make a roux, it's going to come together and you're going to lose a lot of the balsamic profile. So when you're taking out the veggies like this, you're getting a little bit of residual, just pure balsamic in the garlic sauce in the bottom of like your vegetable dish. So you're gonna add that little hint of flavor right back in. Nice. It's just a well-rounded dish. And lift it. Okay. Cool. So turn that back up to a boil. It's like a command. So remember this reserve roux we have? Yeah. By the way, you're watching from start to finish, and this is going to be less than half an hour for a really cool dish. I want you to look real quick at the balsamic. Sorry, I call it balsamic. I always have. See it? See how it's bubbling down to like a nodikins? It's cool. So what we're going to do, this is real fancy. You want to trade your spatula for a whisk now. Dollar store. Dollar store. In Ferndale, and it's gone. So we're going to... This is a fancy trick I taught myself. See how I move the pan? Come on down. Ah! Okay. So, I'm going to make the roux up here. Just want to melt the butter. See that? Get the butter warm. Get that flour cooked. Come on, butter. There. I just gave it a little bit of balsamic to heat it up. Cool. You want to make sure that your flour is brown before you integrate it into the liquid. It's got to be cooked, otherwise it will just be chalky and gravy. And you'll find that the balsamic is pretty respectful of the roux you're trying to make, and it stays out of its way. Alright. You see that? Do you see the dual color in there? Let me show you real quick. So there's my roux back... Oh, God! See it? There's the roux back there. It's still brown, but lighter. It's cooked. Now we're going to put the wine in. So this will be a bottle of wine is 4 cups. Or 4 glasses. And I used half of it. So 2 cups of wine and 1 cup of balsamic. That's the ratio. Now, let's make sure that roux and all the little bits of seasoning and stuff and goop, make sure it's all at the bottom of the pan, get it all together. Okay, now just a forewarning, this is gonna, I forgot to look at what time I put the noodles in. JCS. That stands for Jesus Christ Superstar, JCS. Because my dad always taught me not to, my dad was not religious at all, but he, for some reason, he was still, I think he was superstitious. Because he didn't like to take the Lord's name in vain. So I grew up with every curse word in the world being okay except for, you know, that. Which is just weird. But it's respectable. So anyway, instead of saying, you know, when people get mad, they will, like, say, woo, yeah, I just say a musical title. Jesus Christ Superstar! If you say it with that gay lisp, people don't really give you a funny look. I don't know. So, look, this is... I'm wasting time. I'm waiting for this to bubble. Gosh. JCS. Try it. If you do it without the lisp, like, JCS. Whoa, it's not funny. Right, okay. Now, this is what you're going to want. It gets real bubbly. Can you see that? Yeah, it's like a swamp. Hey, did y'all ever see the movie Labyrinth? Do you remember when they have to go to that bog of eternal stench? I love that movie. Okay, so this smells really yummy. But because you have the alcohol from the red wine and also the acid from the balsamic, you have a lot of acid going on. So we're going to cut that with some butter. I like to use a lot of butter because I just think it is very rich and adds a lot of goodness. So I'm going to put in half of what we have remaining. So it looks like 3 tablespoons of butter. But this is not a science at all. You can do it to your liking. You could use margarine if you wanted. You could, if you wanted to, you could use milk. You would just have to let it cook a little bit longer. You just want some sort of fat in there. And if you are a vegan, they have substitutes, right? Soy. You could use soy milk. That would be fine. Oh. Now, as soon as you add the butter and it starts to melt into the sauce, first of all, the sauce is going to go from like black-red to brown. It's like chocolate. Yeah. But it's also good. The smell is going to change. If the smell doesn't change, you should probably add more butter. But I think that's all we need. Coming together nicely. Coming together nicely. Oh, now this will start to get real thick. God, that sounds so good. I discovered this recipe because my friend Sydney, who is the one that I have the ring for, she was over, what were we doing? Oh, we were going to go see a play, and then we ended up not being able to go. So we went to CVS and I got some coffee and some chocolate and she got some wine and we came back here and read a play that I wrote. Read. Wow. Oh my god, I've got a minute and a half to put this all together. Might just go a little over, I'm sorry. Okay, so now I'm gonna put all these yummies back in. Oh. Should we get all the scrapings? Okay, and I am just going to put this all together. Yum. That is just, it smells so good. Anyway, so I came up with this idea because so I had the leftover wine, because Sydney's a little thing. She doesn't, she can't drink a lot. I mean, which she shouldn't, because if you drink to excess, it's probably not good. So she can have like a glass of wine, and she's like, oh my god. So the rest of the wine sat here, and I said, I am going to use that to make a pasta. Lo and behold, I did. So I went to CVS to be like, hey, what do you have? Because I am all about improvising. These are not done yet. So I was like, I wonder what CVS will have in line of vegetables, and they had black olives. Well, okay, whatever, that'll work. A lot of times I'll go by color. Isn't that weird? But I will. I'll be like, red. The wine is like purple, red. Balsamic is like black. And so black olives and pink. Black and pink are pretty together. And then I use the Liffit, which are pink, and the black olives, and then it ends up being a delicious dish that I could lie when I'm around smart people and be like, oh, I knew those would taste wonderful together, when really it was just like, oh, I think black and pink are cute. This is it, by the way. Okay, cool. Look at how. You need to come down. Ah! Come back to me. Are you still there? Look how thick that is. Watch when I stir it. See that? The yummy thickness of that? Yeah? Can you? I don't know if you can or not. I can feel it. You should be able to feel it when you're running your whisk through it. It's still not thick enough. It needs to have the consistency of like a chocolate fondue. As soon as the noodles are done, I think that's probably going to be the perfect time. So what I'm going to do is grab a bowl. Oh, look at my belly. A lovely mixing bowl. Woohoo! Guess what? Thank you for watching if you're watching this long. And go see Les Mis. And audition for it if you are anywhere in between Royal Oak or the other place. Grosse Point. We have a Grosse Seal here too. I don't really know how they're pronounced. But one is an island. And probably the one that is called eel at the end, because that sounds like it would be for... Wow! I swear my brain cells are just going. Yum! Look, do you see the black on... No. Look at... That's like the scrapings from the side. I know it looks kind of gross, but when you are... when you get those scrapings and put them in your pasta, they'll harden, and they are off the heat, and they'll be like little... hard chunks of sweet candy because they're balsamic. Perfect. By the way, I don't remember if I told you because I often get sidetracked if you haven't noticed. And if you haven't noticed, then clearly you aren't watching or you've gotten sidetracked yourself. Stop texting and chatting, and then you will be able to pay attention. Anyway, see how I did it again? If you don't have the ramen noodle flavoring, that's totally fine. You can just use a bouillon, any kind of bouillon. You can even just use salt and pepper, but noodles are so blah. Okay, I am going to do it this way so you can see. I don't want to splatter you. Do you see how thick that sauce is coming out, though? Yeah? Yeah. I mean, it looks gross, but trust me, it tastes really good. But you know what? It's the same. And then here I'm getting all those things I was telling you about. The drippings from the side and on here, because you want all of that. There's just such a variety of flavors in here. It's really nice. Really, really nice. If I had onions, I would definitely put them in here. And if you are not a pasta fan, if you like rice, I'm not a rice fan, but you could do this with rice. You could change up the flavor profile, and you could use like an apple cider vinegar and a white wine. I would say double the butter though, because the apple cider vinegar does not have the same kind of flavor. Sorry, I'm just rinsing out the pan because otherwise it would give me a feel. Okay, ready? We're gonna mix this shite together, and then I'll just taste it right from the thing. No, that's tacky. Lord knows I'm the king of couth. I can't find a spoon. We'll use this one that I already used. Oh, a beautiful, beautiful dish. It really is. And it just reeks of fancy. Reeks of fancy? That's my new phrase. I love it. I'm just gonna put a little, because I'm gonna actually put this away and have it tomorrow with friends. Yeah, the imaginary ones. Because my Facebook friends are my only friends in real life. Instead me. Oh, and Matt, he lives upstairs. But I mean, that's a friendship of proximity, right? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. He'll never watch this. Alright. Wow. Woohoo! It's so steamy. Can we go over here? Are you gonna reach? Oh my gosh, you are. Here, come sit with me. Do you see my lint roller? Oh my gosh, what can you see on my fridge? That's a picture of when I did a show. But it's not like it's a school picture. It looks like a school picture. Whatever. Just whatever. And I have a lint roller back here too. Alright, let's get serious. Let's get cracking here. I've got some food. this pasta. Look at it. Come down. Come down. Now, see how the liffet has turned into, like, it doesn't have any firmity? Yeah. Look at the sauce. It's this nice, rich brown. Listen. You better make this. Seriously, it's so good. There's just, each bite has 18 layers of flavor that keep jumping on. See, my dog is like, hey, what's up? Cooper. He's looking at me, he's mad. So good. The olives just give it this really cool texture and flavor. And the liffet is fantastic. So anyway, that was my real fancy Les Mis meal. We're going to call it like dirty French pasta. Don't call it that. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Have a fantastic new year, and make sure that you ring the new year in the way you want to spend the year. Okay? From my kitchen to yours, thank you so much, and we see you again soon. Okay, bye!